Giga iWes is underway. Yes, the big factory in the desert is getting closer every day. It is inching along nicely, and we are going to see some production out of there, likely in Q1. Maybe a little bit before that, but that's our expectation. We've got some great new footage from the air, from our man on the ground. He doesn't fly the drone, except that he pilots it. Oh, that's a long way of saying I got Mark here with me, and we're going to talk about all kinds of Giga iWes things. I'm Brian from the road. Welcome to Futuraza. My gosh, Mark, I have been going nonstop since I last saw you.
That's right. That's right. You're crisscrossing back across the country.
8-10 hours a day of driving. Sounds like a lot until you realize how big this darn place is and how little of it I've managed to cross. I am in Wyoming.
Wyoming. Okay.
Rock Springs, Wyoming.
Very nice.
Had to choose my hotel carefully to make sure I got good Wi-Fi. So that's helpful. Hey, let's take a look at the factory. I suspect you've had a chance to take a peek at it, but this is this video from our good buddy Zangler, the Tesla Semi Advocate. 5,000 views. Semi under wraps. This one is not very informative. Okay, so this one has some footage of just the semis around and this new body that is under a that is wrapped up.
Yeah, like it's on a pallet.
Mm-hmm. It's almost as if they are sending it somewhere or have just received it from somewhere. Perhaps this is one that went to Europe or came back from Europe, or maybe it's going somewhere else. Maybe it's going to China for validation.
But that's it's kind of interesting. They take the front wheels off of it to ship it.
I see front wheels in this. I see them.
Okay, yeah.
It's just better wrapped.
It just kind of looked like it was leaning forward. It would look like it was missing it. But you're right. They're there.
So we've got some really, really great behavior from the internet today. What on earth was that?
That was me dropping the mic.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is what we call a mic drop moment. Okay, you're settled. And then we've got this is the footage of the factory itself, and this is where we've got actually more news to report. You've been through it. What did you see that was interesting?
Again, there's not a great deal of difference on the outside, but we are seeing that it looks like some equipment has moved around, but really, I'm not seeing a huge difference in the structure itself because it's pretty well done. But what we are seeing is some equipment, or crates are showing up in different areas, which is indicating that we're getting some things shipped there, maybe assembled, maybe part of the assembly lines, things of that nature. But really, the exterior, it's getting kind of dull because it's not changing all that much.
But I would argue this is a good week for folks who have come. You can see here in the bottom corner, there's some rail assemblies going in. This is likely to run utility work. We will see at some point here. Over here, we can see the guy wires.
They're finally gone.
Have been finally removed. Some of the loading docks have been advanced, where they've got better ramps on them for different purposes. And this new road over here is done. We saw it going in maybe 2 weeks ago, but the road, there we go, there's a good shot of it. You can see the road there that is used to connect the battery factory to the semi factory.
Right.
And on screen here we can now see the mega chargers, and the mega chargers are getting some form work done around them. Tremendously helpful and all that. So that's great. And Zangler has assured me that next week's footage is going to be fantastic. We had an opportunity to chat today, and he said that he's going to be flying in a few days, and that he has a huge surprise. Could be anything. I certainly will pretend I don't know what that surprise shall be. Because while Tesla may build semis and factories from which to build semis, what I build is Antissa. You
Antissa,
know,
what?
hmm Mark, there are two types of people in this world: those who can extrapolate from incomplete data. Okay, so I think that means we need to get to the Giga Semi questions, which are here. I'm going to share this tab. Oh, for crying out loud. We look. All right. Very ridiculous.
That's
Guys,
what we
we
do.
answer your questions, your brilliant questions, your terrible questions. We answer them. So we've got, consider this: if unsupervised FSD is engaged, will a driver's license be required as a passenger and or driver? So yeah, will you need a license to be a passenger in a FSD engaged unsupervised vehicle?
I would say no, because of course at that point it is unsupervised, and therefore you're at a level 5, and you can just be a passenger. There's no license required to be a passenger.
That's my understanding as well. Will parents be allowed to send kids to school via unsupervised FSD? I don't know.
Absolutely,
I mean, I think
absolutely.
it will. I think it'll vary by jurisdiction. How old is the kid? Does the kid require adult supervision? And if so, the answer is no. You have to supervise the kid, not the car. And will Tesla be responsible for speeding tickets? That's, I mean, yes, because in every jurisdiction I'm aware of, the driver is who gets the ticket. And if you are not in the car, you cannot be issued a speeding ticket. Anyone know what the weight difference will be? Diesel versus electric semi.
Excellent question.
I
the
like it.
I believe that the due to the fact that the EVs have been given a, I think it's a 2,000 pound
Correct.
extension on the weight that they can carry. I would say that the EV is a heavier than this a traditional gas semi.
Well, it is when the new rule was made, it was, they just said, look, we expect it to be heavier. Um, Now, if you look at the weight of the giant diesel engine they put in the semis, plus the transmission, plus the presumably extra heavy brakes, plus the fuel tank itself. If you're carrying 100 gallons of diesel, that's 700 pounds. So 100 gallons, yeah, it's about 7 pounds a gallon. So they're not, so what you'll end up with is currently our expectation is that a day cab electric semi is comparable in weight to a sleeper cab diesel, with improvements coming every day. And it depends on the application. If you have just a short range semi, then it could it could reach weight parity pretty easily, I think.
Well, and as you mentioned, we've also got that Tesla is iterating as time goes along. So battery weights, what materials are being used, all those things are being tested on the road today and are in flux when it comes to what will be part of the new production line. So you're right, we may have a change along the way because we've always seen that Tesla does modify and change its parts based on what it finds in the field, and in order to make its product better.
I had a chance to tour the TriMet bus barn a couple weeks ago in Portland, Oregon. They have 34 electric buses. These are, because of the grant they got, they had to be U.S. companies, and U.S. companies do not make a lot of electric buses, and the ones they make are hot garbage, I guess is the term. When you go out in the morning, let's say I give you 100 diesel buses and you send your drivers out in the morning and they fire them up, what percentage of that 100 buses will fire up?
Oh,
Would you say 100?
no, I would say it would not be 100, but I would say that my guess would be that you would get a high 90, maybe 94%.
I think it is more like 98, 99, maybe even 100. All the buses fire up pretty much every day. On their electric buses, they are between 50 and 65% likely to fire up on any given
That is
day.
not
The
good at
tech
all.
has to go over, tinker with them. So if you are the operator of one of those buses, your strict instructions are don't shut it off. Whatever you do, do not shut it off. Tesla doesn't want that. Their customers don't want that. Hey, we're getting a little far afield here. Let's get back to the magic. Got this question here. How many Tesla semis have been purchased so far? And is it past the testing phase?
The number is small. Like we're talking under 100 at this point, I believe.
I think they just passed it. They might even be at 120, 130, but they could be at 85 still. It's in that range.
Okay. And as far as the testing phase, yeah, they're still in the testing phase and will be for
Absolutely.
the foreseeable future.
Yeah, yeah. Agree 100%. Rode to move batteries to iWes, are they using Panasonic cells? I thought they used 4680s. So they are using 2170s. They have been because the 4680s weren't ready in time. And it takes a tremendous volume of them, a tremendous quantity of them. So ultimately, ultimately every vehicle should be cell agnostic. So it doesn't matter, and the cells are right next door. For now, that is the solution as I understand it, unless you know anything differently.
No, having that ability to be to change as time goes along is Tesla's ace in the hole because of course they've been buying batteries from everybody, all the different sizes. They can take whatever is available, and that is going to be a win for them as time goes along because many others are stuck with one type of battery, and if there is a shortage, they're kind of stuck with waiting.
Mm-hmm. So this is kind of an interesting question. I kind of like it. It is, crying out loud, right here. We have not heard any media noise of progress of Chinese attempts to copy Tesla's Giga semis. Have the Chinese concluded it's not worth it? The market TAM isn't big enough? So my understanding is, I mean, they're not copying the product. They don't use a product that looks like the Tesla Semi, but they do have a lot of electric class 8, class 7, class 6 and 5 trucks. All the different size of commercial trucks are already electrified in China. Not widely, but they're available and the electrification is happening. I'm making a video. It'll be coming out soon. I'm making a new series called Final Answer. When a myth comes up too many times, when a question is asked so often, I'm going to make a whole video. So every time someone says it, I can just point to that. And this one would be about the myth of Chinese just copying and pasting. They don't do that. That ended 20, 30 years ago. What they do is look at your finished product and try to make something just as good or better, but cheaper, easier, simpler, fewer parts, whatever it is, so they can copy your goal, but not your procedure. Yeah.
It has changed in China, and it has done that in, as you mentioned, for the last 15 years, 20 years. It's been modified from what it was previous.
Yeah. Yep. Uh huh. How long before airplanes get an FSD equivalent? Safer? Yes.
I don't.
Well, I mean, the short answer is 100 years ago. Planes can do almost everything on their own. The pilot is there in part for emotional support for the people on the plane. They
Except
just
for the
feel better.
people that are flying with him. Yes.
Yeah, because if you have a complete mechanical failure, what's the pilot going to do? Pull real hard on the yoke? I don't think that's how it works on a craft of that size. They can take off. I don't know if they do the takeoff, but they can land automatically. They can navigate automatically.
And that's been a progression too, Brian. Right? Like this is
Yes,
things that have been added to the autopilot in the air over time. But you're
one
right.
feature
Now
at a
at
time.
this point,
Yeah.
it's basically all the functions they can handle through the autopilot.
Yes. First, maintain throttle. Second, maintain altitude and attitude. And then, now, I mean, it's one step at a time. It works great. So I think that's enough for this week, you guys. Please come back next week because there will be, something.
The surprise
Somewhere
is coming.
assures me there's a big surprise. I'm very curious to see what you guys think of it. And everybody else, head over to the Tesla Life, see what he's up to. Huge thank you to you, Mark, for joining us in Muskegon, Michigan last weekend, where we had, I think, a fantastic time. I don't know about you, but it was wonderful.
It was a fabulous time, and and the drone show and light show was just incredible. People, take a look at that online if you can. It was fun to be there in the crowd.
It was amazing. It was really something. And everybody else, stay tuned, stay juicy, and I cannot wait to hear from you, juicy spiders. Oh, I mean, robots, clever robots on the flippity flop.